Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satgurum Pranatosmyaham. Now, we have been seeing what is this Manomaya Kosha. In the Panchakosha Vivarana, first we have seen what is the Annamaya, and then what is Pranamaya. And then we saw the Pranamaya is the glue between the Annamaya and the Manomaya. So now we are seeing what is Manomaya Kosha. So the Jnanendriyas along with the mind is called as Manomaya Kosha. And in the mind only there are likes and dislikes. Therefore it creates the idea of I, non and mine. Mine means another. Mine. These are all mine. So these ideas it creates. And mind is responsible for creating the Nama Rupa Jagat. And we get attached and we suffer. And this pervades the whole of Annamaya and Pranamaya, this mind. And it is like, you know what? The sense organs which are part of the Manomaya, they are like priests. They offer the oblation of sense objects into the fire of the mental sheath. That is the Manomaya Kosha. Already it is full of vasanas, which is the fuel, which is making this Manomaya Kosha to burn bright. And here the priests are sitting, the sense organs, and they are offering the oblations in the fire. That is how the idea of the world or the worldly existence is sustained. That is what is said in the 168th verse. And 169th verse we will read again. It's a very important verse. It is very much in alignment with whatever Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi talks. And he talks only about this. So we will read it again. If at all you want to quote any reference from Adi Shankara's literature about Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's philosophy or his way of approach, 169th verse is appropriate one. Nahyastya vidya manasotirikta manohya vidya bhava bandha hetuhu tasmin vinashte sakalam vinashtam Vijrumbhatesmin sakalam vijrumbhate Nahi asti avidya manasaha atirikta. There exists not any avidya other than the mind. Manohi avidya, and the mind itself is avidya. Mind alone is avidya. Bhava bandha hetuhu, and responsible for the bondages in this life or in any life. Tasmin vinashte sakalam vinashtam. When the mind is destroyed, everything is destroyed. When the mind subsides, everything subsides. When the mind merges with the self, nothing is perceived as other than the self. Vijrumbate yasmin, when the mind rises from the heart, sakalam vijrumbate, everything rises. How beautiful. When the mind rises from the heart, everything rises. When the mind subsides, everything subsides. So the world is nothing but the mind's vibration of the mind. See, actually everything rises, and goes back in the consciousness only. The mind, because of its identification, creates otherness and sense of separateness. That is called as Nama Rupa Jagat. And we take it to be very real, and we get attached to certain things, and we feel averse to other things. That is how the samsara goes. Otherwise, it is only the self. There is only self. See, if you think self means, there is nothing, blank, then you are mistaken. It is not. Everything is self. And by itself, self is beyond. How this example of the city reflected in the mirror. See, you should not think about the original city at all. There is no reference of original city here. Forget about the original city. Don't worry about that. In this example, please, the reflected city in the mirror only should be considered. Vishwam Dharpana Drishyamana Nagari. There, the mirror alone is actually. When the city is appearing in the mirror, when the reflection is seen, then also mirror alone is. When there is no reflection of the city also, the mirror alone is. Mirror has no problem when there is a reflection or not. Mirror will not say, oh, I don't like this reflection of the cities. Why do you reflect? No, it won't say. If the reflection of the city is gone, it won't say, oh, I miss the city, Why can't there be reflection? No. Whether the mirror is so comfortable with or without the reflection. But what is the reflection? Is there a reflection other than the mirror? No. Can the reflection influence the mirror? No. Mirror alone is. So every inch of the reflected city is mirror alone. Every inch of the reflected city, if you touch, what you are touching is mirror alone. Is it not so? If this example is understood, everything is understood. So therefore, with the mind, what the mind does, because identification of the body, it projects the world outside. Outside means what? As if it is other than you. And it gives the illusion that everything is separate, things are different. That is why it creates different nama rupa, it is said. But when the mind dissolves, what happens? Everything is perceived without a sense of otherness. The vritti and the bedam illama poidu. Na vera adu vera and the bedam illama poidu. And also the objects are different in the idea illama poidu. See, that is why it is that mind alone creates the world. See, this is remarkable discovery, My God, this is something very extraordinary. See, when the others in other countries or other continents were living in the caves, our Mahatmas have discovered this absolute truth, which is liberating, it is all blissful. That is the glory of our great Rishi Munis. We should not fall for all these half-baked, Western-educated, modern liberals, so-called. They are very intolerant and very idiotic. We should not fall prey for those people. So our Rishi Munis were wonderful. So this nobody can understand. Egoistic fellows can never understand, because the ego creates the world. The mind creates the world. So this 169th verse is a masterpiece, because with the rise of the mind, everything rises. When the mind goes back, everything goes back. Apart from mind, there is no world. And if you inquire what is mind, there is no mind. What is left? Self alone, the pure self alone. This is amazing. But When you identify with something, then this vision is not for you. When you sort of give up all identifications, totally when you undress only, you can hug everything. Because this personality, this concrete personality will not allow to accept anything else to be oneself. Already you have decided this is me, then all the other things, how can it be me? When nothing is me, then I become like a space accommodating everything. Everything is me only. So therefore self should not be imagined or this or that. You get the point? So think about it, contemplate on it. More you contemplate on this one point, more there will be light. Light means what? Clarity in your ideas, thoughts. Now moving on, 117th verse, 170th verse. स्वप्नेर्त शून्ये सृजति स्वशक्त्या भोक्त्रादि विश्वं मन एव सर्वं तथैव जाग्रद् यपि नो विशेषः तत्सर्वमेतन् मनसो विजृम्भणम् स्वप्नेर्त शून्ये सृजति स्वशक्त्या भोक्त्रादि विश्वं मन एव सर्वं तथैव जाग्रद् यपि नो विशेषः तत्सर्वमेतन् मनसो विजृम्भणम्. How beautiful. This is what Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi also tells. Swapne, in the dream, when we are in the dream state, Artha Shunye, there are no objects whatsoever. Concrete, physical objects are not there. But the mind, Srujati Swashaktya, by its own, it projects. What all it projects? Bhoktradi Vishwam. It not only projects the Vishwam, the dream objects, the dream world, but also the dreamer, one who is there in the dream, that is me. So the mind alone projects what? The dream world, Swashaktiya, from its own self, by its own power, it projects the dream objects, the dream world, Vishwam, and also the dreamer, Bhoktradi. Manayeva Sarvam, if you think about it, Manayeva Sarvam, the mind alone is the experiencer, the experienced, and the experience. Apart from mind, there is nothing. Because you are in your bed, lying in your own room, the comfort of your own bed, you are lying down. But where from all this world has come? From your own mind. And not only that, in that dream you are also there, experiencing. And while you are dreaming, the experiences are very real. It's not chuma. Only when you wake up and you say, it all just a dream, is no truth in it. The objects are all projected by the mind. Even the experience, whatever we experience, is chuma. It has no meaning. And what Bhagavan Sri Adi Sankara says in the next line, this is very important. Tataiva jagradapi na visheshaha. Even in the waking state, there is no difference. The same happens. This gives us a real jerk. What? Yes. Why? Tat sarvam etan manasaha vijimbanam. Everything is projected. Vijimbanam means projected by the mind only. even the waking world and the waker, that is me, everything is a projection of the mind only. Hare Rama, 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 Rama. How is it possible? It is. In the mind, you don't doubt the reality of our experiences. Similarly, now we don't doubt the reality of our experience in the waking. But when we are awakened to that highest, then we know this is just like a dream only. Till that point, we will always question, how can it be the dream? There are so many people having their own lives, and I am also leading my own life. How can this be the mind's projection? You think mind is very small, or mind? It is all Ishvara Shakti. Mind is Maya at play. It's not ordinary. But Swamiji, in dream, every day we dream something different. But in the waking, every day we see the same world, the same people, the same wife, the same children. Nothing is changing. For this, you know what Bhagavan has replied? It's very subtle. You have to think about it, otherwise you will not understand. This continuity and this permanence is there in dream also. Because while dreaming, you don't question as if it is, bits and pieces. There is continuity. There is a sense of continuity and reality also. There you don't think it is just for some time only the dream. No. While you are dreaming, you feel everything is continuous, satyam, real, and everything. Only when you wake up, you feel, oh, it was temporary. So once this Janaka had a dream, it seems. King Janaka, who was a king of Mithila, he had a dream as though he was a beggar, begging in the streets. Ayyo, pasikidhu, please. Abdin solid. Then he got up and he was wondering, am I a king begging in the dream, or am I a real beggar dreaming as a king? See, he had this dream, he had this doubt, and nobody can resolve this doubt. Nobody can resolve this doubt. He was wondering. See, you need not understand deeply also. You need not understand deeply also. I will give you another way of understanding. See, after 20 years, let us say, after 20 years, this is what, 2024, 2044, you visit the same ashram. Maybe Swami is here or not here, we don't know. You visit the same ashram with your grandchildren, whatever, let us say. Then you narrate, oh, this is the hall, we used to have the satsang, Swamiji used to speak early morning, and this is the pond we used to sit and enjoy, you recollect. So then, now whatever is happening is a faint memory, distant memory. You are just recollecting. It has no meaning at all. Now, you imagine your school life. You have gone to school and all, lived with your parents, a beautiful time, played with your friends, wonderful time. You recollect. Vague memory only, nothing concrete. Adhan Bharati சொல்றார், பொய்யாய் கனவாய் பழங்கதையாய் போனதுவே. When he started his autobiography, Subramanya Bharati, he writes, பொய்யாய், everything is unreal. Kanavai, like a dream. பொய்யாய் கனவாய் பழங்கதையாய், like an old story. It has gone. So, this is dream only actually. Where has your granddad's granddad gone now? What is the meaning of his life now? Nothing. He lived only 50, 60, 70 years before. There is no meaning. So your life also after 50, 60, 70 years will have no meaning. You may have so many photos and videos, but who will look at it? You yourself don't look at it. Nobody will look at it. See, don't imagine your grandchildren would go and look at it. They don't look at anything except the social media. Whatever the friends have shared, they are not going to look at it. Even they look at it, how does it matter? For them, it doesn't matter. Everybody is interested only in themselves, not about anybody. See, Gandhi Tata and all is revered, everything is fine. Who cares about, okay, pa, he got us freedom, that is all fine. So what now? Move on. See, this is how people think. We don't bother about anybody or anything. So therefore, this is nothing but the mind, that is the reality. And this is wonderful because thank God it is not real. It is all false. So that we are relieved and we are free. Yesterday I had a terrible dream. Really terrible. And once I got up, I thought, thank God it's only a dream. Thank God. Oh my God. Always, after tsunami, I get these dreams of tsunami. And you are part of the people running everywhere. And tsunami, when it hits, you wake up. And for me, very peculiar thing. While dreaming in itself, I somehow feel it's part of a dream. It's very, very peculiar. I feel that way also. But somehow that dream, when you get up, it is not true. Oh God, thank God. Is it not so? So when you are awakened from this dream also, you feel, thank God. My God, my wife is no more. She is false. My children are not nagging me or not on my head. They're all false. But still they would be there. From the absolute standpoint, you will know that it's all just a dream. It has no meaning. So nothing to take serious. Let them cry and shout. Let them nag or do whatever. I have nothing to do. I am all right. And you act also as if you are troubled, as if you shout, but nothing happens. That's why our Acharya says, wherever you are, whenever you are, be 100% Karunataka. Karunataka. Karunataka means what? Act. What? I was giving a peculiar sound. Karunataka. It's a drama. So therefore everything is projected by the mind only. Like the dream, so the waking world. That is why Gaudapada Acharya says there are only two states. Deep sleep where you don't apprehend anything. Agrahanam. And in the other state, Anyata Grahanam. You apprehend something else which is not the truth. That is dream and waking. And Mandukya Karikala Pura enna solran keta, even in the dream there is an experiencer, experienced experience. Even in the waking experiencer, experienced experience. What is the difference? There is also Triputi, here also Triputi. He says absolutely there is no. All the reality, the sense of reality is created by the mind. The sense of continuity, reality, everything is created by the mind. And it can create. The mind is so powerful. It is very, very powerful. It is not as we think, simple thing. It is Isha Shakti. So therefore, please understand, this world is nothing but the projection of the mind. Then, one more way of understanding. அப்படியே பகவான் சொல்றது தான் சொல்றாருன்னு அர்த்தம். பகவான் வந்து அது சங்கர் சொன்னதான் சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா சொல்லலாம். ஏன்னா பகவான் கேம் லேட்டர். பட் இதெல்லாம் லேட்டர் பிஃபோர்லாம் கிடையாது. They are talking from their own experience. You understand? But it is so similar. That's what I am trying to point out. Sushupti kale manasi praline. Sushupti kale manasi praline. Naivasti kinchit sakala prasiddhehe. Naivasti kinchit sakala prasiddhehe. Atho manakalpita eva pumsaha. Atho manakalpita eva pumsaha. Samsara etasya na vastutosti. Samsara etasya na vastutosti. Sushupti kale manasi praline. Sushupti kale manasi praline. नैवास्ति किंचित सकल प्रसिद्धेः अथो मनः कल्पित एव पुंसः संसार एतस्य न वस्तुतोऽस्ति सुषुप्ति काले, in the deep sleep. Sushupti means deep sleep, where it is not disturbed by the dream or anything. Manasi praline, the mind gets absorbed in the whatever, in the self or whatever. There what happens? Na eva asti kinchit, nothing is perceived. But Swamiji, when I sleep, others are perceiving the world. Are Rama, we are talking about the deep sleep, our experience of the deep sleep. In the deep sleep, you don't perceive anything. Only when you wake up, you get an information. That is the waking mind's projection. That while you have slept also, others were there and they were seeing the world. That is the waking mind's information, not the experience of the deep sleep. Experience of the deep sleep is what? When the mind has got absorbed, what happened? Nothing is perceived whatsoever. Sakala prasiddhe, it is very, this is the experience of all. There is no doubt in it. Prasiddhe means what? It is believed by all. It is very popular, this idea. So therefore, manakalpita eva, when the mind comes out, you see everything in the dream or in the waking. Therefore, it is very clear that is manakalpita eva, the imagination of the mind or projection of the mind only. Samsara etasya na vastutaha asti. Actually, the relative world or the relative existence is not there. From the highest standpoint, it is not there. Mind is only creating this world and the experiencer and all the sukha dukkha experience and the samsara. So when the mind is absorbed in the self, there is no world of experience, experiencer, or the sukha dukkha, or the samsara. There is no one who is seeking, no one who is liberated.
Hunger is there, Swamiji.
See, hunger and thirst, all projection of the waking mind. Projection of the waking, everything is there in the waking. Then what only hunger you are talking? See, you should not talk for the Mahatmas. You should talk only for yourself. You are a jiva now. Jiva means you are still identified with the body mind. So you say hunger is a big thing. You ask the Mahatma who is enlightened. See, that's why I told you, the body mind's dharma, but it's a very different experience. So whatever you say, hunger or thirst, they would not have thought about it. The great Mahatmas, when they see, analyze and inquire this deeply, see, for them, they will see this is a waking mind's projection. It is all only through thoughts. How come in Samadhi people sit for years together without the feeling of hunger and thirst? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi was sitting in that Badala Lingam, not knowing about the world. Where had gone the hunger and thirst? Tell me.
The mind is lost, there is no time, right?
No time, there is no space, there are no objects. That's a different thing. But in Sahaja, they live like anybody. That is, but like you and me, they are not persecuted by anything. Even hunger or thirst. That's something else it is. So it is mysterious. But your question is very valid actually. I am not saying it is not valid, but that is also negated. Actually in the highest, everything is negated. That is why it is so extraordinary. Okay, so actually speaking, the samsara is not, the world is not, the very experience of the world is not. So what is there to worry here? What is there to feel sad, miserable? There is only Ananda. Manasam tu kim marghane krite naiva manasam. Marga arjavat. When you inquire what is this mind which is creating all trouble, you discover that there is no mind. Then the self alone is, and what is the self? It is infinite, ananda, and nothing else. So this is the absolute experience of all the great Mahatmas. Vayuna aniyate megaha. Vayuna aniyate megaha. Punaste naiva niyate. Punaste naiva niyate. Manasa kalpyate bandaha. Manasa kalpyate bandaha. Mokshaste naiva kalpyate. Mokshaste naiva kalpyate. Vayuna aniyate megaha. Vayuna aniyate megaha. Punaste naiva niyate. Punaste naiva niyate. Manasa kalpyate bando. Manasa kalpyate bando. Mokshaste naiva kalpyate. Mokshaste naiva kalpyate. Vayuna aniyate megaha. The clouds which are gathered by the wind. When the wind blows, the clouds here and there, they get, together. They are gathered and it rains. Sometimes it rains. The same cloud scatters the clouds also. The same wind scatters the cloud also. Is that not so? Punaha tenaiva niyate. The same wind that scatters the cloud also. Similarly, manasa kalpyate bandaha. This bondage is imagined by the mind. And mokshaha tenaiva kalpyate. And the liberation also is imagined by the mind only. What, Swamiji? Even the bondage is imagined by the mind. So therefore, liberation is also once again imagined by the mind. Really speaking, there is no bondage or there is no liberation. Who is bound? I am bound, the jiva. I am the experiencer. He himself is false. There is no person like that. So he is imagined. So even the liberation of this person is also an imagination. Because for the self there is no bondage or liberation. Who thinks he is bound? The jiva only, the individual only. If you inquire about his truth, he is not. He is a myth. When I say myth, what it means, he appears to be, but he is not. He is not means he is not at all present. It is not that he is there, he will merge. The realization is, he was never ever born. See, this is the realization of Advaita Siddhanta. It is not that he was born, he has lived, and after my sadhana and everything he has merged. No. Though it is said for some practical purposes, and it is true also from the practical experience, but the absolute truth, the realization is what? Hare Rama, he was never ever. When you realize that there is no ghost, there is only post, means what? The ghost has entered back into the post in Solvingla. The ghost was never ever born. It was only imagined. So the bondage is imagined by the mind. And then you do all sadhana. And then liberation happens. Liberation is also imagination of the mind. See, in this context, I always remember a story narrated by my Swamiji when I was very young. At that time, I was not understanding. But I have narrated it several times to our senior devotees who are here. But for the newcomers, I will narrate it. A very beautiful story. To explain this point, Once, there was a dhobi. He was walking along with this donkey. The donkey means what? It was carrying all his, old, dirty clothes. So it was walking with him. And this dhobi was taking this donkey to somewhere, to some other village. But he had to cross through a forest. So while he was crossing the forest, the sun set and everything is pitch dark, he wanted to rest somewhere. So he was searching for a place and he found a small hut. There a Mahatma was staying, he was meditating there. So he approached the Mahatma and said, Mahatma ji, now it is very dark, I can't go, I can't move. For only one night shall I stay here, please. He said, okay, what is wrong, you stay here. But Mahatma ji, this donkey has to be tied. Do you have any rope or something to tie this donkey? He said, I don't have any rope and all. Why should I have a rope? Should I hang myself or what with the rope? No, I don't have any rope. Yo, then what will I do? If I don't tie it, it will run away or something. We don't know what will happen. Then Mother, don't worry. I will tie your donkey. So he took the donkey and without any rope, he was only acting as if he is tying the donkey. And then he tied the donkey to the tree. And the donkey also sat down. The donkey thought, now they have tied me to a tree, I cannot move. So it really sat down. So everything was over. The fellow also went and slept. Then next day early morning he got up, he wanted to go. So he was going and waking up the donkey. Hey, come on, get up. The donkey was like this. It was looking at him. Arey fool, you have tied me up now. How can I get up and go? Untie me now. This fellow was not understanding. Why this donkey is not getting up? He was struggling. Then the Mahatma came. Arey Buddhu, you have to untie this donkey now. Huh? He was wondering. Then Mahatma, he untied as if, he acted once again as if untying. And then he said, get up. Then the donkey got up. This is how we have to do. And then he started walking. We are like donkeys. We imagine that we have been bound to a tree and we expect a guru to come and liberate us. Otherwise, how will I be liberated? Without the guru's grace, how will I be liberated? This donkey is never tied. It imagines that it has been tied. And this donkey can never be liberated because it is a donkey. It is never tied. But since there is an imagination of bondage, the imagination of liberation is very important. Otherwise the donkey will not move. This donkey will not be satisfied. Something should happen. The guru should touch. I realized. What you realized? That nothing will happen to this donkey. That is the realization. So the mind alone imagines. See, when I was very young studying in the college, our Swamiji narrated this story. At the time I was wondering, wow, what is this story? Well, this story is so significant actually. When you study Vedanta deeply, you know that this is the story, real story. So mind alone is the cause for the bondage and mind alone is the cause for the liberation. How it is explained in the next verse. Dehadi sarva vishaye parikalpya ragam. Dehadi sarva vishaye parikalpya ragam. Bhadnadi tena purusham pashuvad gunena. Bhadnadi tena purusham pashuvad gunena. Vairasya matra vishavat suvidhaya paschad. Vairasya matra vishavat suvidhaya paschad. Yenam vimochayati tanmana eva bandhat. Yenam vimochayati tanmana eva bandhat. Dehadi sarva vishaye parikalpya. This mind alone imagines what? Dehadi sarva vishaye. The body also and the world also. See, here there is the answer, see. Dehadi sarva vishaye parikalpya. The mind only imagines the body and all the other objects of the world. It is not the body, the mind is in the body or body is in the mind. It is mind only imagines the body. And all the other things, sarva vishaye, parikalpya, ragam bhatnadi, tena purusham, ashuvad gunena. And it creates attachment towards the sense objects, to the objects of the world, to the beings. And thus, Purusham Pashuvat Gunena Badnati. It binds the man. Like a Pashuvat means like a cow tied to a tree or something with a rope. That is how this mind ties or binds the man. How it binds? See, that's what our Acharya said, na? You create, you get attached, and then you suffer. So the mind creates the world, and because it has got raga dvesha, it gets attached to the world, and then it suffers. That is bondage. See, mind creates attachment, that I can understand, Swamiji. Mind there is likes and dislike. Yes. So I like certain things very much, so I get attached and I suffer. That I can understand. But mind creates the world, if you say. But even before me coming to the world was there, na? Even if I go back, the world is there, na? This is what we think. It is not that there was a world you see. You see, therefore there is a world. This is what is said. Then do you mean to say that all the great masters who appeared are all part of your mind, dream? Of course, yes. Ramana Maharshi is a dream. You are a dream, I am telling you. Don't talk about Ramana Maharshi now. You are a dream. Oh, am I a dream? Yes, you are not. See, when you don't understand this point, that I myself is a dream, what to talk about others? Whoever it may be, whatever it may be. So therefore, the world creates, the mind creates the world, and then it gets attached to it. And that is how the bandhana starts. Bandhana is the bondage starts. And what happens then? Vairasya matra vishaya vishavat suvidhaya paschad. And the same mind only develops vairagya. Through proper discrimination, the same mind only develops vairagya. Chi, this is like poison. Ayyo, it will really kill me. I really don't want it. So who is developing a distaste for the sense objects? Vairagyam. The mind only is developing the vairagyam through proper discrimination. So when the mind develops its vairagya towards sense objects, when it detaches itself, then it understands everything as it is, and it is liberated. See, forget about this idea, I will tell you one more thing. As a person, when you live in this world, you know what is dharma, what is adharma, right? What is right, what is wrong. But the mind will not keep quiet. It pushes you into something adharmic, something wrong, because of its desire. It says, no, I want that. It is not fair, it is not right. No, I want it. It's okay, nobody's looking, nobody's watching, come on. So the mind pushes you into something wrong. Then you do something. And then the mind only creates the guilt also. You are from what a great family. You are a man of culture, upbringing. How can you do this? The mind only creates the guilt also. See? And then the mind says, no, okay, now I will not do it again. I surrender everything unto the Lord, the good and bad. Oh Lord, please take care. Please forgive me. Inime I will not do. The mind only looks for some prayashchitta and feels very happy. Okay. I have offered to the Lord. Now no sin will come to me. I will not do it again. Okay, fine. See? The mind only has pushed you into the wrongdoing, and it only creates guilt, suffers, and it finds a way saying that there is a prayashchitta, now you just give it up or do something as a prayashchitta. Maybe you go to Ganges and you take a good bath, everything will be washed away, whatever. And then it says, okay, now fine I am. And then mind again creates the same temptation. See? So, Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayo. So, when the mind comes, the world comes, it says. And not only that, the mind has got likes and dislikes. Vasanas, likes and dislikes. So, therefore, it gets attached to certain things and beings. And because of that, samsara. And then, after the Guru's Upadesha, through proper discrimination and vairagya, it says, no, chichi in the param purikum. No, I don't want this. It is not good for my mental health, for my well-being. I just give it up. You give it up. Who is giving up? The mind is only giving up through vairagya. And the mind feels very free, liberated. See? So therefore it is said, Manasa kalpate bandhaha, moksha hi tenaiva kalpyate. So mind alone creates bondage through attachment towards the sense objects. And mind alone creates liberation by withdrawing from the sense objects. So everything is in the mind only. This mind we don't take care at all. We don't try to understand at all. We live like animal, only in the body level. Chumma running after pleasure, eating, drinking, smoking, and gossiping, and wanting this, wanting that, and then I am what? Very, very sad actually. So this mind alone creates the bandha, and the mind alone creates the moksha also. So both are imagination of the mind. There was never ever a bondage. Never ever. Why? In the first place, are the dream objects true? The dream person true? The dream experience true? No. So, even the bondage is part of the dream, na? It is not true. Then what about liberation? When the bondage itself is not true, what is the question of liberation? But in the Vyavahar, as if you are bound, so as if you are doing sadhana to liberate yourself, as if you are liberated. When the lady is searching for her necklace everywhere, because she is now desperate, she has to go to the wedding. Without necklace, her decoration is not complete. She thinks only with the necklace she looks beautiful. So she is searching very, very desperately for the necklace. Was the necklace lost? It was in her neck only. It was never lost, but she was searching. And then, in front of the mirror, she suddenly realized, oh, it is here, my God. So she has discovered what? She has gained it or what? No, it was always there. See, sometimes, it has happened to me also. We will be having the phone in our hands and looking at something. And we feel, where is the phone? Where is the phone? Arey, you are having in your hand and you are browsing it. Very funny things happen, Some brain fade, it is called as brain fade. You are having your own phone in your hand and you are looking at something. Suddenly you remember you have to call somebody. Some number you have to search for or something like that. So where did I keep my phone? You search everywhere. As if this is a book you are holding and you want your phone. Beta, you are having your phone in your hand. Oh, okay, it is in my hand. The dirty things in my hand only. Therefore, so it is not lost ever. This moksha samraja is never lost to regain. So you know what? This Milton, a very mischievous, naughty person, I suppose. I think when he married or something, he wrote a poem. What is that? What lost? Paradise lost. Or when he and then he wrote again paradise regained also. So something like that. So it was never lost to regain. Always there. We only think it was lost. And we only think it is, we have regained it. Oh, we have done something wonderful. But actually, the Mahatmas say, when they realize the truth, they feel ashamed. How did we think that we have been bound all this time? இவ்வளோ முட்டாள்தனமாக நினச்சிருக்கோன்னா முட்டாளாக இருந்திருக்கோன்னா அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி. ஸோ தேர்ஃபோர் there is nothing to pat on your back when you realize. You have to really feel ashamed that you have been a fool all these days for no reason. So therefore, it is not there. So we will not read any scripture, Swamiji. Anyway, the bandha is not there, moksha is not there. If you don't feel miserable, if you don't feel that you are going to die, if you are not concerned about what will happen to me and all, there is nothing actually. The mind creates all the problems. See, when you keep the mind in the present, utter present, without allowing to go here, there, the mind cannot project things, And you utterly be in the present. There is no trouble. But we don't. Then the mind creates the web of the samsara. At the present moment, when we are in the class, when the Acharya is speaking, when we are listening, where is the problem? But if the mind goes to the Annakshetra, I don't know what is going to be the breakfast today, I don't know. Every day they are giving me some upma. Today what upma would come, I don't know. With the same upma, same sambar. Morning also sambar, afternoon also sambar. So what will I do now? When will I get my pizzas? At least this pasta you can train us, Swamiji. We are going to invite one of our youngster from Chennai. They will come and do pasta for you, don't worry. You don't want pasta? You are an old person. Go and die. We are all young people, we want pasta. When the mind goes out somewhere, then it is not happy, it is miserable. And then you think about your friends back in your town, or how much they are enjoying, see. I don't know why I came to this camp, got caught into this. Every day 3-4 classes, done. You are bombarded. And they are happy roaming about everywhere, watching new film. Every Friday films are released now. See here, see. So when you are here utterly in the present, there is no trouble. But when the mind goes here and there, gone. When it goes to the future also, it gets scared. What am I doing here? My God, in 1 year or in few months, I have sort of arranged my daughter's marriage. I am sitting here. What will happen to all the arrangements? Blah, blah, mind will start. So, therefore, when you are here, there is no trouble. Here and now. When you allow the mind to wander, then there is trouble only. Mind creates all the trouble. Because it creates the world and the experiences. Okay. Tasman manakaranamsya jantoho bandhasya mokshasya cha vavidane bandhasya hetur malinam rajo gunaihi mokshasya shuddham virajastamaskam. Tasmat, therefore, manaha karanamasya jantoho bandhasya. This mind alone is responsible for the bondage of the human beings here, of the jivas here. Mokshasya cha, and mind alone is responsible for the liberation also. And why there is bondage? Bandhasya hetuhu malinam rajo gunaihi. Why? Because the mind is now filled with so much of rajas. Therefore there is bondage. What is rajas? Vikshepa shakti. We will not be able to see the truth as it is. and it is projecting so much. The Vikshepa Shakti, that is what is Rajas. That Vikshepa Shakti is there now very much active within. That is the Rajoguni Pradhan. Vikshepa Shakti is active. Therefore, there is the samsara. Mokshasya Shuddham Virajas Tamaskam. What is moksha? When this rajas and tamas is gone, meaning when there is no avarana, there is no covering of the self, which has come due to the tamas, and there is no vikshepa, which has come due to the rajas. Shuddham, when the mind becomes very, very sattvic, there things are seen clearly as they are. That is moksha. Mokshasya Shuddham Virajas Tamaska means without rajas and tamas, when the mind is filled with sattva, then there are no misapprehensions, no imagination, and there is a perception of the reality as it is in the heart. So that is moksham. Now you understand how these three gunas play? So it is very clearly said this tamoguna is the Shakti of the Lord only, Maya Shakti only, one aspect of Maya Shakti that covers the self. We do not know our own true self. And then starts the Vikshepa Shakti, that is the Rajoguna, projecting everything on top of it. This projection is called a superimposition. We are not able to see the rope as it is. Somehow the idea of rope is sort of hidden or sort of abstracted from our vision. And then what happens? Something else is superimposed on the rope. We imagine a snake on it. So the snake vision is superimposed on the rope. This is called adhyasam in our Vedantic literature. The superimposition is called as adhyasam. Adhyasa. That has to be removed. So that is what is going to be explained in the next verse. So please understand, the Maya expresses as three gunas. So tamo guna, it covers the truth. It hides the truth. And the Rajoguna projects something which is not truth. And the Maya is so powerful, it shows you that which is not as real and which hides you which is real. So that you say, whichever is not to be there existing and whichever is to be not existing. See, this Brahma, the Maya creates. That is the Maya Shakti. So therefore, if you are filled with Shuddha Sattva, and there is no trace of rajas and tamas, or very, very minimum, then what happens? The avarana is removed, the veil is removed, and the truth is apprehended, and no more there is possibility for any projection. Once when you know very clearly that it is just a rope, then you will not be scared. Once again you will not be misled, whether it is a rope, it is a snake. No. Once when you know it, you know it. So that is why Shuddha Sattvam is very, very important. Viveka Vairagya Gunatirekat Shuddhatvam Asadhya Vano Vimukyai Bhavatyado Buddhimato Mumukshaha Tabhyam Dridabhyam Bhavitavyamagre Viveka Vairagya Gunatirekat Shuddhatvam Asadhya Mano Vimukyai Bhavatyato Buddhimato Mumukshaha Tabhyam Dridabhyam Bhavitavyamagre So, Viveka Vairagya Gunatirekat. By developing these qualities in you, the Viveka and Vairagya, what happens? Shuddhatvam asadhya. The mind gains Shuddha Sattva. Because when you develop discrimination, dispassion, then slowly the Rajas and Tamas are negated and the mind gains the Shuddha Sattva. And Shuddhatvam asadhya mano vimuktyai, the same mind full of sattva will lead you to moksha. See? The mind, when it is full of rajas and tamas, will bind you and keep you in the samsara. So through proper viveka vairagya, and when you can see things clearly because of your dispassion, detachment, and that creates lot of Shuddha Sattva in you, so that the avarana and the vikshepa is removed. That leads to the mukti, mukti padam. Therefore, ataha, buddhimataha, the intelligent one, mumukshaha, one who is seeking liberation, tabhyam dridabhyam bhavidavyam agre. Therefore, this seeker should develop these two qualities. Dridhabhyam means what? They should strengthen these two qualities, Viveka and Vairagya, if at all they aspire for moksha. If at all they want liberation. Just now you said liberation is an imagination. But you know what? Like the donkeys we are now. We are thinking we are bound now. So then we have to work for the liberation. So what he says, if at all you are very serious about liberation, these two qualities have to be strengthened. Dridhabhyam. What is that? Viveka and Vairagya. Through proper discrimination, we should develop detachment. So again and again in our Shastras it is said, only through dispassion and true knowledge you can gain this. But Swamiji, that Mahatma or that thinker has said, you can live anyway, you can indulge in anything, still you will be realized. Then what do you say? Why do you ask me? You go and ask that Mahatma. He has only told you now. I have not said anything. If somebody says something, people come and ask me, as if you know I am responsible for that. You go and ask him. I can only explain whatever told in our scriptures, whatever our Guru taught us, and whatever we believe in. If somebody else is saying something else, how can I be answerable to that? So our Acharya says, we become very questionable personality. Wherever we go, people question everything. Questionable personality. All sorts of questions are posed. Swamiji, that Mahatma has told that way, what do you think? Why should I think anything? Why should I think anything? If he has said something, it is his thought. You won't ask him why he has said that way. He may be able to explain to you beautifully. But he is no more living. Then it is good. You need not ask anybody. Don't worry about it. No, I am very disturbed now. Because I am a bogi. I want boga. And scriptures say you have to withdraw. But thus Mahatma says you can even indulge and still you can liberate. Which is better? To withdraw and be a tyagi and then to liberate is better, or you can indulge and also you can liberate. Which is better? I want that path only. Then go. But I am not sure. Then don't go. No, I don't know now. See, that is our problem. Experiment. See, you have to only experiment now. If you want to experiment with it and see for yourself. But why can't you experiment? Why should I experiment? When I don't have any doubt, why should I experiment? You only have doubt. No, you also come with me. Both of us will jump and drown. I am very clear. Because this has been time tested. And not only time tested, it is very much convincing to my intellect. And you know what? Deep vasanas are lurking in us, waiting for expression. So such philosophies are very conducive to such vasanas. Therefore mind says, why not? Why do you ask us to withdraw, 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 detach, detach? When there is a beautiful path where you can enjoy also and liberate yourself, why do you unnecessarily say detach and then liberate? Then go. I'm going to tell you something very controversial. Okay, I don't know whether I have got time or not. I'm going to tell you something very controversial. But please try to understand the spirit of it. Don't make it a controversy. See, if you compare the youth in the Western world and the youth in our India, see, right or wrong, I am not talking about right or wrong. Just consider the youth. Here, the youth, he watches the pornography. He watches the porn, and he has got a lot of this kind of vulgar thoughts, and he has got so much of imaginations. But in our society, it is all very strict rules and regulations. The father, the mother, the society. Only after you get married you can have sex and all. You cannot afford to have sex before marriage. And this fellow is not getting a proper job also. If you don't get a proper job, nobody will give you a girl also. In South India, in the Brahmin circle, if you are not part of IT, you will not get a girl. Oh, you don't know. How do you know, Swamiji? Everybody comes and tells me everything. I know everything. So, this fellow is 30, 35 and he is not married yet. But he cannot do anything now. So what will happen to him? He is so inside roasted because he has got so much of vasanas and so much of sexual desire and no way to let it out. And for him in life, that becomes everything. Oh, epo. You understand? But let us say, take a Western society. When they are studying 7th, 8th, or even say, I don't know, that's what they say, I don't know much. They have some sex and all. And that is all, it's okay. It's accepted in the sense what? In the Western society, they don't too much make an issue out of it. Okay. If you don't, it is better. If it is okay. So be safe, have safe sex. So they educate them how to have safe sex and all. So this fellow, when he has passed his teenage, he had so much of all this experience. So he is not obsessed with it actually. See, why so much of rapes and gang rapes and so many, see, they are also happening. It's not the human mind. But when you are so much bottled up and so much, you don't know. So the same fellow, out of frustration, out of, the idea of, out of this thing, he becomes sadhu, let us say. Indian fellow who is not getting a girl to marry because he is not that successful or whatever may be the reason, but he has got so much of vasana within, so much of bottled up emotion. He doesn't know what to do. Somehow he feels, okay, let me take sannyasa, everything will be all right. How everything will be all right? Nothing will be all right. So to such people, Osho says, Hare Rama, if you have this kind of emotions in you, and if you cannot properly discriminate, and you do something very brute, and people do nonsense also, so you just do it, forget about it. Hare Rama, why there's so much of bottled up? Because he must have seen this kind of perverted personalities who are unable to give up also, unable to indulge also, neither here nor there, nor enjoying the world, nor withdrawing, nor doing anything. So such people, they are more in numbers actually. See, very rare few ones, they have got less vasanas and got very bright discrimination and some grace of the Lord who can really say no and they can move on. It is not easy to say no and to move on in life, especially to the sexual urges. They are very deep in human beings. Because from how many janmas we have been carrying these urges. There is nothing wrong in it. See, there is nothing wrong. Don't create guilt. This idea of guilt and sin and all, it makes a matter further worse, complicated. It will not help anybody. See, we have got a very funny idea about things, sometimes very perverted. So, come on, yaar, okay. Don't be obsessed. This is not everything in life. It is nothing. You think that is everything. It is nothing. Come on, chod do, yaar. If you are unable to give it up, okay, chod do. Means you have it. Forget about it. Go away. At least finish it. அது முடியாது அப்படி. அது இன்னொரு விஷயம் அவருக்கும் தெரியும். See, it is not that way. At least that bottled up thing, everything, if it goes, at least you will have some sort of to think about something. Maybe that may be his standpoint. I don't know. I am only sort of thinking about it. Because this Mahatma Ji asked me about Osho, Rajneesh. See, I am just thinking loudly. I also don't know what is his real exact standpoint. See now, the other extreme, these fellows in the Western world, they live together, these, that, the relationships are broken, again built up, again broken. And after some time, they get the real dispassion. I don't know whether they get or not, but they feel there is nothing in it. What is there to trouble ourselves too much? When it happens, it's good. If it doesn't happen, it's okay, yaar. See, they don't too much about it. They take it lightly. So even if you see how they interact with the other opposite sex and all, it is not as these fellows interact. Are like vultures, they are sitting watching. They are ready to pounce upon. See, because everything is bottled up and everything is, I am not saying that is good. I am not saying this is bad. No, I am not saying that. And our Mahatmas here, few are there. They will pounce on me when I say that. And they kill me also. Because they are all traditionally built and brought up. This is good, this is bad, this is dharma, this is adharma. There is nothing like that. But what I mean to say is, see, our Mahatmas, they have given this, grihastha-ashrama, appreciating very much that these are urges which has to be addressed. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Okay, marry a girl, please stick with her and lead a good, decent life. Okay, beget children, properly, bring them up. All those things are beautiful. But it has also got its own problems. But still, it is better than the other thing. What are the problems? See, whatever said and done, the human beings are polygamous in nature. That's what it is said. I don't know whether it's true or false. The mind always runs about things, and at least, that strict discipline helps. And also, sometimes there is no love in the relationship means it becomes very difficult. See, when you have to go on putting up without love, it becomes narakam. When there is love, it is beautiful. When there is no love, it is narakam. But we don't have any choice. That is another problem. You see, we have to accept there is problem here also. See, it is not easy. If there is a choice, easily you will give it up. And because mind wants something else, want variety. That is the problem is there. Here also there is problem. You cannot give up anything and cannot live with it. It suffers. Only very few ones who are very intelligent, very discriminative, they don't suffer. But the ordinary ones suffer only. So, see, don't get attached to any ideas or pet concepts, however wonderful it may be. I am telling you, it is all only conditioning created by our own religious ideas, beliefs. But what I mean to say is, Osho must have seen this way, I suppose. And then he says, okay, do it and forget about it. Don't make it a big issue out of it. Don't make a big scene out of it. Chod do yaar. This is the idea. Chod do yaar. So our Mahatma says, chod do yaar, only they also are saying. How chod do yaar? Through proper discrimination. So for a person who is very bright, very sattvic, very quiet, because of Purva Janma, Sukrutam, and grace of the Lord, he has less vasanas. For them this works. But for a person who is full of vasana and sexual urges, this and that, bottled up, how will this work? If he wants to turn to spirituality, it will never work. He will not turn. Suppose if he wants to turn, that bottled up emotion should be released first. And then you work on it sincerely. Maybe that is, I don't know. I am thinking loudly. So that's why I told you it's very controversial. But still, certain things, why not? We can think about it. So I am not propagating that. But This Mahatmaji asked, what about that? But our scriptures say this strictly, you have to withdraw from the senses. But he says you indulge. He's not saying just indulge like an animal. Nobody says indulge like an animal. Probably he says, just forget about it. Don't make it a big issue. And you know what? We think when a person is bad means he is eternally bad. No. Every saint has got a past. Every sinner has got a future. Because who is our Valmiki? A Ratnakar, a dacoit. He was a dacoit. He became what? A Valmiki. It is possible. And similarly, a saint today can be a sinner tomorrow when he falls for temptation. Saint means what? A man of discrimination and a sadhu and all can also fall. So there is no hard and fast, rigid thing, It's all in the nature. Okay. What do you want to ask?
No. It is happening. Just imagine what will happen to the generation after that. It could. It will sort itself out, right?
Yeah. Self-adjustment will happen now. Everything is in the mind now. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.